Be sure to follow all the officer's instructions.
Get on your knees and follow all instructions. That's your daddy. That's your daddy right there. You know how you pray to God in heaven? That's your God right there. That's God right there. God is at your window. He's in charge of everything. She's in charge of everybody. Once the car is pulled over, everybody in the car is detained. The cop can't wait to shoot you with his taser. The cop can't wait to attack you with a dog. And as the dog's biting and gnawing on your bones, he's going to say, stop resisting, stop resisting. As the dog is biting you, the dog is biting you. And the cop is screaming, stop resisting. What'd you do wrong? You listened to this ridiculous organization. Put down in the comment section, OTVO. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Do me a favor, hit the like button for the love of God, if you would, pretty please, with sugar and cherries on top. Go to deletelaws.com right now during the live stream. I'm going to give this bad chicken to you for free for any order. I sell these for $30, but you know what? I'll give it to you for any order. So let's get into this. Let's get into this, and you guys tell me if you see where this is just a little bit not true. What to do and expect when you're pulled over by the cops.
Part of an officer's job is to conduct traffic stops when the officer has a reasonable suspicion of a traffic or criminal violation by the driver or a passenger.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know we'd be stopping it quite so soon, but let's listen to this again.
Part of an officer's
job
is to conduct traffic stops when the officer has a reasonable suspicion of a traffic or criminal violation.
Reasonable suspicion of a criminal or traffic violation. That goes against our Fourth Amendment. No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. Never does it say that the government can be reasonably suspicious of you and stop you to check your papers. That is not in the Constitution. That is not in the Bill of Rights. That's fundamentally false. It's completely and utterly a lie.
Traffic stops when the officer has a reasonable suspicion of a traffic or criminal violation by the driver or a passenger.
That's just not true. And the whole lie that we're living under is that a government agent can be reasonably suspicious of you and then they can stop you. That is just complete bull. That's bullshit from the top to the bottom. There's no part of that that's true. When you hear the term reasonable articulable suspicion, I want you to say to the person saying that, that's not part of our Fourth Amendment. That's from Terry versus Ohio in 1968. And now they've extended it. A cop can stop you if he's reasonably suspicious of you. That's going to be the 1996 case of Wren versus United States, which is, of course, an extension, or the jurisprudence is based on the 1968 holding of Terry versus Ohio. It's fundamentally a lie.
Being stopped by an officer can be a stressful experience for the driver and passengers. It can be stressful for the officer too. For the purposes of this video, the term officer is used to mean a state trooper, a city police officer, or a county deputy sheriff. In this video, we'll explain what you should do if you are pulled over by a law enforcement officer. Knowing what to do and what to expect during the stop will help you stay safe and make the experience less stressful for everyone.
Unfortunately, we have to set up such a rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that are greater or equal to what the pigs are doing. And if you do not set up that rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols, you could die. You could die during the traffic stop because you didn't set up for yourself a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that you will follow. If you don't follow a very rigid set of procedures, you might die during a traffic stop, and that's not what she's saying. So it's just more propaganda.
When you see the emergency lights behind you, the most important thing to do is to stay calm. If you are pulled over, here is what you should do. Activate your turn signal and pull off the highway or to the side of the roadway as soon as it is safe to do so. Turn off the engine.
She says as soon as it is safe to do so. So when is it safe? When is it safe to pull the car over? I don't know when safe is. Do you know when safe is? Can someone explain to me in the comment section? She said She said,
Here's what you should do.
here's what you should do when a cop pulls up behind you with emergency lights on. Let's see what they say you should do.
Activate your turn signal
Activate your turn signal. And that tells him what? That you're going to pull over?
and pull off the highway or to the side of the roadway as soon as it is safe to do so.
As soon as it is safe to do so. So what does that mean exactly? I'm not sure what does as soon as it's safe to do so. Safe for who? As soon as it's safe for me to do so? Because if it's safe for me, I'm going to wait till I pull over to a well-lit area that has lights and cameras out on the outsides of the building so that I feel safe. She said, as soon as it's safe to do so. Turn on your blinker.
Signal and pull off the highway or to the side of the roadway as soon as it is safe to do so.
Safe for who? You got a guy behind me with emergency lights on, all my constitutional rights that are given to me by God, only recognized by this government. They're all gone. I can be grabbed. I can be patted down. I can be put in torture cuffs. I can be put in the back of a torture car. And so then what is safe for me? Safe for me is when the cop is no longer behind me, when I don't have to deal with a jackboot thug pig.
Turn off the engine and turn off the radio or any other audio devices. Stay in your vehicle unless the officer tells you to get out of the vehicle. Keep your hands on the steering wheel or in a visible location so they are easily observable.
You have to break yourself you have to make sure the copper can see your hands so he's not scared. That's where we are. Cops are so scared that you gotta hide. You make sure your hands are visible.
Turn on your interior lights if you are pulled over at night.
Turn on your lights so the cops can see in your car. That's their guidance to you.
To make it easier for you and the officer to see. The officer may also use a spotlight for additional visibility.
He'll put a spotlight in your eyes. The cop's going to put a light in your eyes.
The officer may come up to your vehicle on either side.
He could come up on either side. You got to be okay with that.
When the officer approaches, remember to lower the window nearest the officer so you and the officer can better communicate.
That's not how we work over here at Team DLZ. I don't know what the hell this lady's talking about. They get the trifold in their face. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. They get the trifold in their face backed up by the camera. I'm not rolling my window all the way down because I don't trust that jackboot thug pig. You show them the trifold immediately. I don't want to communicate with him. The old way used to be, why did you pull me over? Do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know how fast you were going? You don't say that anymore. You immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You have your license, registration, and proof of ID all up in the visor. It's ready to go. Everything's up in your broccoli wad rubber band, right up in your visor. Cop pulls you over, items in your left hand, you got your camera in your right hand, you're at touchdown position. Cop comes up, you give him your license, registration, proof of insurance. The only communication I'll be doing, my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent right in your face.
Wait for the officer's instructions before reaching for your driver's license or vehicle documents.
Look, they got it right there for you. You see it? It says it right there in black and white. Don't reach for your driver's license or documents until the pig has told you to do so. You will break yourself from the beginning of this stop until the end of this stop. You will pull over immediately. You will put your window down. You will put it down so you can communicate with the officer. Don't reach for your documents because the cops in America shoot people. They kill people. They're killing people in our country. That's what they do. They can't wait to shoot you. I don't know what she's talking about. She's not talking about the America you and I live in.
On either side.
So the cop can approach on either side.
When the officer approaches, remember to
do these checklist things.
Lower the window.
Lower your window all the way down. Put a 1 in the chat if you do not lower the window all the way down. Put a 1 in the chat if you do not lower the window all the way down. 1 for me. Let me put my 1 in the chat. I crack my window 3 inches. I do not lower the window all the way down. I don't do that because I don't trust jackboot thug pigs who sign up to a Death Star. The cop can't wait to shoot you with his taser. The cop can't wait to attack you with a dog. And as the dog's biting and gnawing on your bones, he's going to say, stop resisting, stop resisting. As the dog is biting you, the dog is biting you. And the cop is screaming, stop resisting. What'd you do wrong? You listened to this ridiculous organization.
Wait for the officer's instructions before reaching for your driver's license or vehicle documents.
You can't even get your documents without getting permission from the government.
Be sure to follow all the officer's instructions.
Get on your knees and follow all instructions. Give his balls a bath with your tongue. That's your daddy. That's your daddy right there. You know how you pray to God in heaven? That's your God right there. That's God right there. God is at your window. He's in charge of everything. She's in charge of everybody. Once the car is pulled over, everybody in the car is detained.
This is what you can typically expect from an officer who pulls you
This is what we can typically expect? Well, let me open it big. Let's take a look at it. This is what we can typically expect from an officer. Let's take a look.
over. The officer should explain why you were stopped.
Oh, he's going to explain why he was stopped? You mean he's not going to play that game of, do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know how fast you were going? How many people, put a 1 in the chat, if a jackboot thug pig has played that game with you? Do you know, did you stop at that stop sign back there? Do you know how long I was following you? Do you know that how fast you were going? Did you know that I saw you get on the freeway without coming to a full stop? How many people have had that game played with the pigs? But she says what I can expect is that he's going to explain it to me. But is that how it's going? Is that the way it's going? That is not how it's going at all whatsoever. What to expect?
Typically expect from an officer who pulls
This is what you can typically expect is what she's saying.
you over. The officer should explain why you were stopped.
Good morning. My name is Trooper Cervantes with the Arizona Highway Patrol. Reason for the stop today is I got you going 70 in a posted 55 zone, and I also noticed that your registration is expired.
I'm sorry, I'm running late for work, and I didn't know my registration was expired.
May I have your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
The officer will return to your vehicle and will typically
What? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What? Have you ever in your life met a pig who walked up to you and said so gently and so sweetly,
why you were stopped.
Good morning. My name is Trooper Cervantes with the Arizona Highway Patrol. Reason for the stop today is I got you going 70 in a posted 55 zone, and I also noticed that your registration is expired.
I'm sorry, I'm running late for work, and I didn't know my registration was expired.
May I have your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
What a joke. They made this video and said this is how the cops are going to talk to you. Put a 1 in the chat if that's not how the cops talk to us. They come up to us with a bad attitude. They come up as though they are God or they're terrified of us with their hand on their gun, kind of peering around the corner before they play their game. You know why I pulled you over? You think you came to a full stop at that stop sign back there? Is there anybody else in the car grabbing for their gun every time? They're freaking terrified. Put a 1 in the chat if these cops are terrified. This kid, you could eat eggs off his face. He's so sweet. You could just take your scrambled eggs and just right off the kid's cheeks. He's such a loving young man. Nice, sweet, gentle eyes. What a nice kid they hired to be the actor to play the pig.
Registration was expired.
May I have your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
Sure.
The officer will return to your vehicle and will typically explain whatever action is being taken. The officer may issue a warning, a traffic ticket, or take another necessary action. If the officer does not explain his or her actions, you may ask the officer to do so.
I'm issuing you a citation for your speed and your expired registration. There's a court envelope to assist you with anything else. Please check your mirrors as you pull back into the road and drive safe.
Thank you.
What a joke. Oh my God.